Thank you. All right, so just thank you everyone for showing up. This is my first fundraiser, and there'll be more to come coming up to July. But the importance of tonight is for my nonprofit. Thank you for one celebrating me and life, right? It's glad for us to all have life left.
Yes.
Clap for the March babies. But for me, this passion, Activate Your Life, is so important because as I shared on social, I understand the challenges of inner city girls from 16 to 21 who go through certain things. And for me, it's not, for some young girls, it's an easy route. But I'm catering to the young girls who deal with different challenges, struggles, and their voices are not heard. So I decided to host a boot camp program for them for the summer. Not all of the girls get a chance to go to summer youth programs. All of them don't have a chance to get jobs, and all of them are not celebrated. Most of the time it's the girls who's doing the A's and the B's, but I'm here to stand for the girls who's doing the C's and the D's, and they need some help. And so also, unfortunately, the girls that I do cater to and work with have been impacted by the criminal justice system. So either they have themselves been through the system, or they have a family member or a parent who's through the system, and they honestly raising themselves.
Wow.
So with this particular program, not only are we taking them, their field trips is going to the bank to open up a bank account. Their field trips is understanding not just how to manage your money, but we want to give them stipends to learn how to manage their money.
Yeah.
Their field trips is also building their business. What is your business idea? How can we support you? And linking them up with a mentor. Their trips are going to restaurants to learn how to eat and the importance of etiquette, effective communication, how to speak, not only to adults, but amongst each other, and also most importantly on social media. So there's a lot of areas that they're not learning in school, and unfortunately not at home, because they have to sometimes be their own parent. So in an effort to prevent unplanned pregnancy, addiction, which is high right now, gang violence, which a lot of them are falling into looking for family, incarceration because of the high level of poverty, the arrest rates for the youth are high, and oftentimes the girls are not looked at and their voices are not heard. So there's the sex trafficking, whether they realize they're going through it or not, it's happening, selling their bodies, and just doing a lot of unfortunate things. So our goal, which we already have over 24 girls who are excited to be a part of the program, starting out in the Bronx. We do want to do this in the tri-state area as much as possible, but taking these girls through the program, monitoring them for the rest of the year, and to see how much they can succeed through high school and graduation. A lot of them are not even showing up at school because they're hungry, because they don't have the clothes, because they're fighting. So it's a big challenge. So who's going to deal with the young girls? So at 16, unfortunately, I got pregnant and I lost the baby at 5 months, right? At 17, I started selling drugs in the streets, going from the Bronx to Long Island. At 18, I took it to another level of struggle, and then I went from, now I'm carrying suitcases across the country. Between 18 and 19, I'm sitting inside of the federal building, hearing that I'm being indicted on a case that I did not know that was greater than me. And so I idolized the wrong things growing up. I idolized the drug dealers. I idolized those who are giving back to the community. And my goal is to show the community you don't have to look like that and do those things in order to be successful. And so here I am. You know, I spent most of my 20s inside a federal prison. My 21st birthday was inside a prison. And so I can relate to them. It wasn't a guidance counselor who could talk to me who's just there for a job. It wasn't somebody that was high paid, getting an honorarium, selling a book that I didn't want to read, coming to talk to us during an assembly. So it was for me, if I seen someone like myself in my own community, I think things would have been a little bit different, much different than what they are. And so I speak to them inside of the juvenile detention centers. I speak to them inside of the women facilities, but I've seen that there's a common gap and a lack of research when it comes to the 16 to 21-year-olds. So it's not just saying, hey, let's give them a slap on the wrist, or hey, let's just lock them up. It's what are you putting in their hands besides a record? How can she succeed if she doesn't know what success looks like? And so instead of doing that, programs that are just getting paid to run programs but are really not feeding the system, this is what Activate Your Life is doing, and we've been doing it since 2017 quietly, and now we're ready to make some noise, because if we don't fight for the girls and make a lot of noise, who will? And they're more than just poster child. They're more than just exploiting their stories and their history. It's who's really training them and taking them to women that look like us. Like if they wouldn't even imagine being able to sit here and have caviar and something to drink without having to open up your legs for somebody that is scamming. They wouldn't imagine being able to be around Hollywood stars and in different facilities. They couldn't imagine. And so I want to celebrate them where they're at. And I'm just starting with here. I'm starting with y'all. Many people have donated online, but unfortunately with grants going down, I've been feeding this with my business for several years. And I'm just asking that you become a part of the village. And so on everybody's table is a card. A lot of these girls haven't heard a positive word in years. So if you could just write them a note. You don't have to put your name. If you do, that's fine. But write them a little note, a positive affirmation in the card. Put it inside the envelope. If you need a card, let me know. But before you leave, just put the card in that silver bucket up there. I think, is that okay? And put it in that silver bucket over there, just with your positive message, so that when they walk in the door, I'm already feeding them something. Before we start hitting them with the, okay, let's take off the makeup. We're gonna show you how to do it for real. And we got a real person who does it, right? You know, and so you fix your pants. You know, you don't gotta do that now. But we showing them real. I would like, it's not so much hood, but today's time, what they need to hear, right? And also the old school way of how we were brought up with certain elements. So if I could prevent the next young girl from going to prison, selling her body, hanging with a toxic guy, getting an unplanned pregnancy, dropping out of school. If she goes to college, fine, but if not, I'm able to feed her right where she's at. I have so many tools that at whatever age I am now, I think I'm 47 or 48. I stopped counting. It's given 34. It's given 34. But I like to say 55 or 50, so they be like, oh my God. Damn. So it's given 35, 55. It is. But if I can do it, and it's not just me, and I have my board member here, if you want to say a few words, one of my board members here. Nikki is also a board member. We got to get her in.
I would love to be a board member.
And so if you want to say, come and say a few words, or you could, yes. Because, you know, it's also about the people who opened up doors for me. 100%. And so right now, the focus is restorative justice. It's about not just re-entry, but restorative justice. How can I stop her from getting in trouble? How can I stop her from laying on their table? How can I stop her from going broke? How can I stop her from leaning on other people, and even repairing the mother-daughter relationships, the mother-father relationship, giving her a safe space to say, it's okay to tell what's going on if it's not working for you in your household, without you being scared and understanding you gotta live there, right? So we're here to do the work. On the sheet, on the front of the sheet, it talks about our program. We kick off in July. On the back of the sheet, it gives you an example of what the pilot is going to be about. And we're just building from here. So any resources, you want to be a mentor, let me know.
I want to be a mentor.
Awesome. You want to be, you know of an organization that could use this, let me know. And I'm proud standing here as one of the board members for Albany's District Attorney's Office, go figure, from prison to the board. Okay? To help specifically with youth justice. And then I just also...
At 12. My mother caught it when I was 24 weeks, so I would have been a mother of 2 twin boys at 12.
This is important, y'all.
But I was also pregnant again at 16. My oldest son is 30. And pregnant again at 18 before I got out of high school. And that was happening because my parents were not parenting. And my grandparents were just trying to give me the best home they could give me. but they didn't realize that I was going through phases of my life where I was hurt and I was angry. So I'm excited, and I just wish that I had someone like you when I was growing up, because we didn't have, you have the neighborhood, but the neighborhood is just trying to get by. The people in the neighborhood is trying to get by. And I grew up in the crack era, so all our parents were addicted to drugs. And so for me to stay here in front of y'all today to say I don't have 2 kids, I have 4 kids. My youngest is getting ready to go to college, so it's gonna be my 4th kid that I'm taking through college. My kids they don't have college debt. Me and my husband took on all of the debt because I wanted them to have a fresh start when they come out. So I'm just saying that when you can love on a girl, support a girl, regardless of who she is and what she's been through, I'm a product of what you can turn out to be. So thank you. I will be on the board. I'm close enough. I literally need to get my final money to Italy, the house we bought. But I will commit to yearly donations to the organization. It's one of the things I do with Until Freedom. But I would love to do that commitment to you all, whether it's 5,000, 10,000. I will donate that to you.
Okay. I didn't really know the scope of it until you just explained it.
Right.
And so I would like to, I don't know if you want me to be on the board, but I'll be a dope board member.
Oh.
And I would love to host a brunch for these young ladies.
We need to add her on to
On the house, and we will show
We
them
gonna come support.
about how you turn your passion into and what we did in Caviar, and how Nigel and I, that's my business partner right there, how we built this.
Now you come out and say hi.
Yeah, come and say hi. And if we can change one of their lives, that would be such a gift to us. So I'm pledging that to you. We will plan it together. They can come here. We will show them how we built it, the building blocks, teach them about Caviar and how we built this brand.
And they can eat?
Yes! I said it's fun. And we can't wait to do that.
Oh my
And
God.
I got chills just thinking about it. And so let's plan that. And thank you guys for coming. And you got that from us. And you got it on camera. So
met Lucinda less than a year ago. She's already activated my life, so I actually do believe in the work that she's doing. I also work with youth full time, and currently I have a young woman that doesn't understand that she is actually being trafficked. She doesn't understand that this man doesn't love her. She doesn't understand that she's like, it's my choice. It's not. Running away 9 days at a time, coming home and do stuff. And so I actually don't have a lot of programming for young women specifically in that area. So to have something, someone like you, I've heard your story. It's real, it's authentic, it's inspiring, and it makes me want to cry every time, but I'm a thug, so I'm not going to do that.
That's all right.
To know that I can actually have a safe place for these young women, that's actually why I decided to join this board and why I would forever help that mission.
Thank you. Nikia's next.
No, we don't want to keep. I just believe in this work. Every point of access I have in terms of connection to young people, I think we are the best teachers. From giving her access to juvenile justice detention centers, to access to money. That was the first grant you applied for with my church and was able to get it.
Having to come to ACS.
Yes, come to ACS.
Work at ACS.
Yeah, and so I think the work is meaningful, it's impactful, and they have so many people that give abundance of money to who don't look like us, who don't know our stories, who don't have the impact and the heart and the passion for this work. So I just believe in the work. I believe in the people that can do the work in a way that is going to touch these young women the way they need to be touched. And I just think that everything that you're doing is coming from the right place, because some people do it and it's not coming from an authentic or genuine place. So whatever I can do to help, if it's facilitate circles. She showed up, I work in Jersey now, and she was able to do a virtual thing with some young women who are involved in some really rough things, who walk around with ankle bracelets. And so my prayer now, I'm thinking like, how can I get them from Jersey to the event? To be able to come to the city, because they just don't have stuff like this. It's not accessible the way it needs to be, so whatever we can do to support,